Have you ever wondered what sparked the cataclysmic events of the Gulf War? Let's turn back the hands of time to unleash the story of this pivotal event in world history. The Gulf War, also known as the First Gulf War, was a major conflict that spanned from the 2nd of August 1990 to the 28th of February 1991. The main players on this world stage were Iraq, Kuwait, the United States, and a coalition of 34 other nations. At the heart of this conflict was Iraq's unanticipated invasion of its smaller, wealthier neighbor, Kuwait. This event took place in the heat of August 1990 and was primarily fueled by Iraq's desire to control Kuwait's vast oil reserves. The invasion was a blatant violation of international law, and it sent shockwaves around the globe. This invasion triggered a series of events that would change the course of history. What would push a nation to invade its neighbor, one might ask? Well, the invasion of Kuwait by Iraq in 1990 was driven by a complex mix of economic and geopolitical factors. At the heart of this was the issue of oil, the lifeblood of the global economy. Kuwait, a tiny nation, was rich in this precious resource, and Iraq, burdened with debts from its recent war with Iran, eyed it greedily. Moreover, Iraq accused Kuwait of overproducing oil, causing prices to plummet and further straining Iraq's already fragile economy. Saddam Hussein, Iraq's leader at the time, also claimed that Kuwait historically belonged to Iraq, adding a layer of territorial dispute to the economic woes. But the world would not stand by idly. The international community swiftly condemned the invasion, with the United Nations denouncing Iraq's actions. Despite international condemnation, Iraq remained defiant, setting the stage for a global conflict. The world watched in horror, but would they stand by idly? The United Nations, the organization standing as the world's moral compass, would not. Shocked by Iraq's brazen invasion, the UN promptly passed Resolution 661, imposing heavy economic sanctions on Iraq. This was the world's first collective response, a stern warning to Iraq: you've crossed a line. But economic sanctions were just the beginning. The United States, buoyed by a coalition of 34 other nations, launched Operation Desert Shield. This was not an offensive strike, but a defensive one, with the objective of protecting Saudi Arabia, a key ally in the region, from possible Iraqi aggression. It was a multinational force standing shoulder to shoulder, a human shield against a common threat. Operation Desert Shield marked the largest military alliance since World War II, a testament to the world's united front against aggression and violation of international law. The world had made its stance clear: Iraq's aggression would not go unanswered. With diplomatic efforts failing, the time for talk was over. The storm was about to break. The world held its breath as Operation Desert Storm was launched on January 17, 1991. This marked the beginning of the war phase, a relentless air campaign that lasted for 42 days and nights. The coalition forces, led by the United States, unleashed a massive aerial bombardment against Iraqi forces, with over 100,000 sorties, dropping an estimated 88,000 tons of bombs. This was a war that showcased the prowess of advanced military technology. Stealth fighters, precision-guided munitions, and cruise missiles all played a crucial role in decimating the enemy's infrastructure and breaking their morale. Then came the ground offensive. On February 24th, the coalition forces swept across the desert. The ground war, intense yet brief, lasted only 100 hours. The once formidable Iraqi army was soon in full retreat. In a swift and decisive victory, the coalition forces liberated Kuwait. The war was over, but the echoes of its impact resonated far and wide. The Gulf War's aftermath was as multifaceted as it was profound. Environmentally, the region bore the scars of the conflict, with oil spills and fires causing long-term damage to ecosystems and wildlife. The human cost was staggering, with countless lives uprooted and shattered, the toll of war echoing through generations. Politically, the war had significant repercussions. It marked a turning point in the global power dynamics, with the United States asserting its military dominance and setting a precedent for future interventions in the Middle East. This war became a reference point for subsequent conflicts in the region. The legacy of the Gulf War is still palpable today, influencing the strategies, policies, and perceptions of international relations. It serves as a poignant reminder of the far-reaching consequences of war and the delicate balance of global power. Thus, the Gulf War left an indelible mark on history, its lessons still relevant in our current geopolitical landscape.